That boy who used to spend days in the garage with only his imagination and a couple hand tools has gotten lost in the grind of the real world. I think it's time we find him. Today, we're building two great little scrap wood ideas. And the first one, all you need is this, a single 18-inch piece of 2x4. And the second, we'll double it. Welcome back to the 12 builds of the holidays, and we're doubling it up, combining day 5 and 6 because Christmas waits for no one, and day 6's build is easy, and even I can't talk about it for 10 minutes. Alright, I probably can, but I'm not going to. The first build, this is all you get, this is all you need, a 2x4, 2x4, or 4x2. It's up to you. Let's call it 18 inches, not even a buck. We hit up the miter saw and cut the first chunk, the heart of the build, at 11 inches. You can vary this to whatever pleases your eyes or budget or the wood you have. Then we're just going to lay it out right here on the miter saw. Come in 3 inches from each side and center it. I want a hole 2 1/4 inches. My Forstner bits stop at 2, the same as my hole saw collection. I do, however, have this really old adjustable hole saw. I got this 30 years ago back in my early 20s when I first started woodworking, then gave it all up for the corporate grind. The days of Wood Magazine. Check out this tow truck I made back then. A quick adjustment, a practice hole, and we drill away. And where there's smoke, there's, because this build is fire. Not really. But these two builds today are those perfect, let's not call them housewarming gifts, but the get-together gifts, the thanks for thinking of me during the holiday gifts. Over the years, we as a culture have gotten into gift cards and even e-cards. There is nothing like a real Christmas card during the holidays. A real letter. You want to make someone cry? Just write them an actual honest-to-God paper letter. A small issue here. The hole saw won't cut all the way through. So I flip the board, line the hole up, and go again. It works surprisingly well, but it does leave a lot of sanding. But in the words of every great Adam Sandler movie, you can do it! Now, I want to dress this 2x4 up, not to fine woodworking. It's still a 2x4, but a step beyond rustic if we can. So I'm going to use my router versus just sanding by hand. And I want to thank RouterBitMall for once again hooking me up with some amazing bits. They have it all, pages and pages of bits. Straight, round over, coves, panels, tongue and groove. The whole gambit. And I have some I can't wait to try. A locking miter joint kit. I mean, seriously, I cannot wait to try that on a box. But for now, we settle on a 1/4 inch round over to smooth out the holes. It's pretty straightforward. Remove the fence, drop the hole over the bit, and using the bearing as a guide, slide it around. I always go a couple times to smooth it all out. Then I do the other holes. We switch out the roundover bit for a chamfer, a little V-taper just like my waist. Well, back in the day. The chamfer adds a little bit of, dare I say, sophistication to the edges that a roundover just doesn't. Getting the depth right, we just run it through all the sides. A quick sanding and put the bits away. And once again, thank you RouterBitMall for helping me out with this video. You can see already the vast improvement the routing and the sanding to this piece makes. It doesn't look nearly as rustic. Still a 2x4, but it's getting there. I test out the 2 holes for the candles I have chosen. Now, I've never made any for this glass type candle before. Votive, I believe they're called. Well, they're called that. It just might not be said that way. Then I move on to the legs. I want them under the piece to elevate the 2x4. And I want them to curl up a touch on the sides. I start off with the 2 ideas I have to try. I want the legs to be 1 inch by 3/4. And now it's just a matter of which way I want that inch to be, 1 inch wide or 1 inch thick. I cut miters in both ways and throw the ideas around before settling on 1 inch wide. It just looks right for the dimensions I have. Then I cut 45-degree miters on them and cut the pieces to come up the side about 1 inch high. The last minute I decide I want a bevel on the top of those little pieces so the lines flow better. Too small for the saw, I adjust the bench top wheel and eyeball each little bevel. Then it's simple. Glue and a staple from the bottom to hold it all tight. Okay, build number 2, or 6 in the series. Easy, right? That's what I said. 1x3, 1x4, or 2x4. You don't need to rip to the exact dimensions I'm going for. I might even regret my choices. My eyes or my mind sees things, and I fight for that extra 1/4 or 1/8 inch difference for some reason, and it doesn't always come together. I'm taking a 2x4, and I cut it quickly down to size for ease of handling. I don't know about you, but I really don't like sliding long boards across my table saw. Then I just rip the roundovers off, and then rip the piece down to 2.5 inches wide. And looking at it further, I think I'll rip it the other way now, down to 1.25 inches. See what I mean about fighting for that odd dimension? I want this to be a little chunky, but not quite 2x4 chunky. At the bench top, we give it a quick layout. I'm going to make 2 of these, nesting inside each other. So we'll start with the bigger one, 9-inch square. Then we're off to the miter saw, just a couple quick cuts. And hop back to the bench top for a quick peek. Perfect. Some more measurements, and I hit the miter saw up again and return. And, yeah, I hate it. It's way too small, too chunky at that dimension. It's just not going to work. So we pivot and decide to make one bigger than the one we already had. New measurements, new cuts. And I like it. Measure to the center of the top, lengthwise and widthwise, then it's all red. 1 5/8 hole for me, down about 3/8 of an inch. Then we sand, no router here, rough and wild, digging into spots, gouging others out. This is rustic. Glue up is simple. Butt joints. Glue, let it set for a few minutes to soak into the grain. A little more glue, then shoot a couple nails down to hold it together as it dries. For a finish, you can do anything. I'm going watered down acrylic for a dark, deep brown, an old rotted backdrop to this piece. I was a little torn here. Bad pun intended. It'll make more sense when the distressing is finished. Now, with white finishes, I have gone with a lighter background color, like gray a lot. But I really like the one time I did it differently. The little farmhouse star cabinet I built where I went dark. The way the paint just peeled off the brown. So I'm going to try to replicate that look. We let the piece dry, then Vaseline or petroleum jelly, not a lot, on the edges and areas you want to see your paint peel. I mean peel. It truly peels. Once again, I made a bigger mess here than I should have. I got a little crazy with the petroleum jelly. After the cleanup, we paint it over. I'm going white chalk paint. I make my own as I go, just a little plaster of Paris in it, and mix and paint. I would recommend a cheap brush here. You're liable to get petroleum jelly in it, and it doesn't really clean up that well. Then we wipe it all off when it dries. And here we are. Number 1, golden oak for the body, nice, warm, inviting color, black stain for the legs. I still want to put some poly on it to give it a little shine though. And the legs, yeah, she knows how to use them. I'm sorry, but ZZ Top never gets old. The legs add so much to this piece, curling around the sides. If you follow the channel, you know these are the little details that I love. Let me know what you would have done and what details you would add. I'm not kidding. It's not an excuse for more comments. I love hearing what others would have done. It's the only way I can change, grow, get better, everything. Number 2, rustic. You know I love me rustic, and this is no exception. I put my little metal tea light holders in. It elevates it. No other way to say it. I do not think I will ever make a tea light holder without them. Well, maybe if I do a simple birch log. The paint peeled to perfection, and I love the contrast of the brown and white. And they nest if you want to put them away and pull them out for another day. We're halfway through now. I'm sad. 6 more builds to go in this series. If you haven't seen them all, hit the playlist marked 12 builds of and give it a quick binge watch. Some great gifts and quick builds for any time, really. Christmas is just another excuse to get out to the shop. As always, thank you for watching and choosing to spend 15 minutes building with me. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you. Until the next time.